Pinocchio and the Little Blue Star. Once upon a quiet evening, in a small warm house at the edge of a sleepy town, there lived an old toy maker named Geppetto. Geppetto was gentle, patient, and careful. Every day, he worked in his little wooden workshop. He made small chairs for children, tiny boats for rainy windowsills, music boxes for sleepy rooms, and little wooden animals that looked as if they were waiting for a story. But Geppetto's favorite work was the work he did at night. When the town became calm, when the lamps glowed softly behind the windows, and when the sky turned deep blue, Geppetto would sit at his workbench and carve with quiet hands. One evening, he chose a smooth piece of pine wood. It was pale and soft, with little golden lines running through it, like sunshine hiding inside a tree. "This will be something special," Geppetto whispered. He worked slowly. He carved 2 small hands. He carved 2 little feet. He made a round face, a small chin, and a cheerful smile. Then he painted 2 bright eyes, warm and curious. By the time the moon rose above the rooftops, a little wooden boy was sitting on the workbench. Geppetto looked at him for a long moment. "I will call you Pinocchio," he said. The little wooden boy did not move. Of course, he did not move. He was made of wood. Still, Geppetto smiled at him, as if he could understand every word. "You would have liked the schoolhouse," Geppetto said softly. "You would have liked the children, the books, the songs, and the warm bread from the bakery in the morning." He placed a small blue cap beside Pinocchio and gently touched the wooden boy's shoulder. Outside the window, one tiny star shone brighter than the others. It was a little blue star, clear and soft in the night sky. Geppetto looked up. "Little blue star," he whispered. "I have made many toys in my life, but this little wooden boy feels different. I wish he could learn. I wish he could laugh. I wish he could know that he is loved." The little blue star shimmered in the quiet sky. Geppetto's eyes grew heavy. He sat in his old chair near the fire, folded his hands over his vest, and fell asleep. The room became still. The fire gave a gentle golden light. Shadows rested on the shelves. The wooden toys stood quietly in their places. Then the little blue star sent a soft light through the window. The light touched Pinocchio's painted eyes. It touched his small wooden hands. It touched the place where a heart might be. Pinocchio blinked. Slowly, he opened his eyes. For the first time, he saw the world. He saw the warm room. He saw the shelves full of toys. He saw Geppetto sleeping in the chair, with a kind smile still resting on his face. Pinocchio lifted one wooden hand and looked at it with wonder. Then he whispered, "Hello?" His voice was small, careful, and new. A soft light filled the room. "Hello, Pinocchio," said a gentle voice. Pinocchio looked around. "Who is speaking?" "I am," said the little blue star from the window. Pinocchio looked up and saw the star shining in the deep blue sky. "Did you wake me?" he asked. "I heard Geppetto's wish," said the star, "and I saw something kind inside the little wooden boy he made." Pinocchio placed one hand over his chest. "Am I a real boy?" "You are beginning," said the star. "Beginning what?" "Beginning to learn, beginning to choose, beginning to understand what makes a heart true." Pinocchio looked at Geppetto. "He wished for me?" "He did," said the star. "He wished for you with love." Pinocchio listened to the word, love. It was a new word, but it felt warm. "I want to be real," Pinocchio said. The little blue star glowed softly. "Then you must learn what real means." Pinocchio sat very still. "Does real mean having skin instead of wood?" "Not only that," said the star. "Does real mean running fast?" "Not only that." "Does real mean going to school?" "That can help," said the star. "But being real begins inside." Pinocchio looked down at his wooden chest. "Inside?" "Yes," said the star. "A true heart grows with kindness, honesty, love, and the courage to come home when you have made a mistake." Pinocchio repeated the words quietly. Kindness, honesty, love, home. The star shone brighter. That is a good beginning. The next morning, sunlight filled the workshop. Geppetto opened his eyes and stretched. For a moment, everything felt ordinary. Then a small voice said, "Good morning, Geppetto." Geppetto turned toward the workbench. Pinocchio was sitting there, smiling. Geppetto stood up so quickly that his slippers nearly slipped from his feet. "Pinocchio," he said, his voice full of wonder. "You can speak." Pinocchio nodded. "I can speak. I can move. I can listen. I can learn." Geppetto's eyes filled with tears, but they were happy tears. He lifted Pinocchio from the workbench and held him gently. "My little Pinocchio," he said. "Then today is the first day of your life." Pinocchio liked the sound of that. The first day, a beginning. Geppetto washed Pinocchio's wooden face with a soft cloth. He brushed a tiny bit of dust from his shoulders and placed the small blue cap on his head. "There," said Geppetto. "Now you look ready for the world." Pinocchio stood very proudly. "The world," he repeated. The word sounded big. The little house suddenly felt smaller than before. Outside, the town was waking up. Windows opened, curtains moved gently. The smell of warm bread came from the bakery at the corner. Geppetto prepared a small bag for Pinocchio. Inside, he placed a piece of bread, a red apple, and a little notebook with empty pages. "Today," said Geppetto, "you may go to the schoolhouse." Pinocchio's painted eyes widened. "The schoolhouse?" "Yes," said Geppetto. "You will learn letters. You will learn numbers. You will meet other children. and when the day is done, you will come home." Pinocchio held the little notebook close to his chest. "I will go to school," he said, "and then I will come home." Geppetto smiled. "That is a good plan." Before Pinocchio left, Geppetto knelt in front of him. "There is one more thing, little one." Pinocchio listened carefully. "The world is beautiful," Geppetto said, "but sometimes it is busy. Sometimes there are bright things, loud things, and interesting things that pull your attention away. When that happens, remember the path home." Pinocchio nodded. "I will remember." "And remember this too," said Geppetto. "If you make a mistake, you can tell me. The truth is always welcome in this house." Pinocchio looked at him. "Even if the mistake is bad?" "Even then," said Geppetto gently. "Especially then." Pinocchio did not fully understand, but the words felt important. The truth is always welcome. He stepped outside with his blue cap, his small bag, and his new notebook. The town was bright and gentle in the morning. A woman watered flowers in a window box. A baker waved from his doorway. 2 children passed by, carrying books under their arms. Pinocchio followed them. Soon, he saw the schoolhouse at the end of the street. It was a small yellow building with a green door and a bell above the roof. Children were entering one by one. Pinocchio walked closer. Then he stopped. Across the square, something caught his eye. A colorful little wagon stood beneath a chestnut tree. Painted stars covered its sides. Ribbons moved in the morning breeze. A smiling man was arranging wooden puppets on a tiny stage. Pinocchio had never seen a puppet show before. He looked at the schoolhouse. Then he looked at the wagon. The green door of the schoolhouse was open. The tiny stage was shining in the sun. Pinocchio took one step toward the schoolhouse. Then he took one step toward the wagon. "I will only look for a moment," he told himself. The puppet man noticed him and smiled. "Good morning, little friend. Would you like to see the show?" Pinocchio touched his small bag. "I am going to school." "Of course," said the man. "School is good, but the show is very short. Stories can teach things too." Pinocchio liked that idea. Stories can teach things too. He sat on a small wooden bench near the wagon. The show there was a wooden rabbit who lost his carrot, a sleepy moon who forgot to rise, and a little bird who learned to sing softly so the babies in the forest could sleep. Pinocchio watched with wide eyes. He laughed quietly. He forgot the green door. He forgot the bell. He forgot the empty notebook in his bag. When the songs ended, the sun had climbed higher in the sky. Pinocchio stood up quickly. "I must go to school now," he said. But when he reached the schoolhouse, the morning lesson was almost finished. The children were already closing their books. The teacher opened the door. "Hello," she said kindly. "You must be Pinocchio." Pinocchio held his notebook tighter. "Yes." "We hoped to see you this morning." Pinocchio felt a strange heaviness inside his wooden chest. "I came," he said quickly. The teacher looked at him gently. "You came now," she said, "but not at the beginning." Pinocchio looked down. his voxing became smaller. I was my way. That was true, but it was softly. The teacher smiled. Tomorrow we will behind again. Pinocchio nodded, but the heavy feeling stayed with him. When the diet ended, he walked home slowly. Geppetto was waiting by the window. As soon as he saw Pinocchio, he opened the door with a warm smile. "My little Pinocchio," he said. "How was your first day at school?" Pinocchio froze. He hovering the living voting. He thought of the puppet show. He thought of Geppetto's words. The truth is always welcome. But he did not want Geppetto to feel sad. So Pinocchio lifted his chin and said, "It was good. I went mourning." As tons as the words left his mouth, his nose felt strange. A soft pressure gathered at the center of his face. Pinocchio crossed his eyes to look at it. His nose was longer, only a little at first, then a little more. Pinocchio gasped and covered it with both hands. Geppetto did not shout. He did not look angry. He only looked surprised and very quiet. "Pinocchio," he said softly, "something is happening." Pinocchio turned away. "My nose," he whispered. From the window, the little blue star began to shine, even though the evening sky was not fully dark yet. A gentle voice filled the room. "Pinocchio, your nose is not trying to punish you." Pinocchio looked up. "Then why is it growing?" "Because your heart knows the truth," said the little blue star. "And your words are walking in another direction." Pinocchio touched his long nose. "It feels heavy." "Unspoken truth often feels heavy," said the star. Geppetto knelt beside him. "You can tell me," he said. "Whatever it is, you can tell me." Pinocchio's painted eyes filled with tears. "I did not go to school all morning," he said. "I saw a puppet show in the square. I thought I would only watch for a moment, but I stayed too long. When I reached school, the lesson was almost over." The room became very still. Then Pinocchio added, "I was afraid you would be sad, so I said I went to school all morning." The strange heaviness in his nose began to fade. Slowly, gently, his nose became smaller again. Pinocchio touched his face in wonder. "It went back." The little blue star shimmered. Truth makes room for the heart to breathe. Pinocchio looked at Geppetto. "I am sorry." Geppetto opened his arms. Pinocchio stepped into them and rested his wooden cheek against Geppetto's shoulder. "I was sad because I worried you might be lost," said Geppetto. "But I am proud of you for telling the truth. Even after I said the wrong thing?" "Especially after," said Geppetto. "That is when telling the truth becomes brave." Pinocchio listened. Brave. The word felt different from proud. It felt quieter. It felt warmer. "I want to try again tomorrow," he said. "And tomorrow will welcome you," said Geppetto. That night, Pinocchio placed his empty notebook on the table. He opened it to the first page and looked at all the clean white space. Geppetto gave him a pencil. "You may write one thing you learned today." Pinocchio thought for a long time. Then, Slowly and carefully, he wrote his first sentence. "The truth helps my heart feel light." Geppetto read it and smiled. Outside, the little blue star shone above the rooftops. Pinocchio looked out the window and whispered, "I am still learning." "Yes," said the star, "and learning is a beautiful beginning."